Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today's build and play guide is on the Anchorage. Now, you can get this ship during the Stars and Stripes event bundle dealy diddly, but I'm not saying you go do that. This is more for the guide that for people that do get it. Uh, just randomly doing that. Anyway, here, guys, for our commander, we're using Azure Lane Baltimore. Now, I want to be very clear: the commander doesn't really matter a whole lot on this ship, as long as you have fully packed, right? Any American cruiser commander that you normally use, I would just recommend fully packed. It is perfectly fine with Norman Scott. You could even use, any of them that you want. I would just take uh, fully packed if you have it. Nikolai Kuzganov and Membeli are our inspirations, along with Beyond Range, Igniter, Punch Through, Fixated, and Fully Packed for our skills. Now, for your modifications, we're taking Aiming Systems Mod 1, Propulsion Mod, and Concealment in 2 and 3 as always, and in the last slot, Main Battery Mod 3. For your loadouts, you do have 3 sonars. They're not the best. However, they are very handy when you are sitting in smoke. So if you are going to be doing, that build, um, with the smoke, definitely go ahead and use it. Now, one thing I will say, there is kind of a cool combination as well. If you choose not to use your smoke, you could use defensive AA. Now, I'm not saying that's a good idea, but you could use that with your catapult fighter and shoot down some planes if you wanted. But I would take the sonar and the smoke generator. Also, you do have relatively decent heals. You have 3 of them on this fully packed build. And for your stats, you do have 41,000 health, so very average among American heavy cruisers. Now, the cool thing about Anchorage is as it does have 12 8-inch 203 millimeter guns, right? Do not get it too twisted, right? The reload time is slower because of it. Like, for example, if you compare it to Rochester, I think Rochester has a 9-second reload with 9 of them. So the DPM basically equals out. And even though in the overview it says it has above average shell AP damage compared to the other American cruisers, it really doesn't. It's a 5400 with the same commander, and you can see 49. All right, that doesn't mean the AP isn't good, guys. The AP is fantastic on it. I'm just saying, don't let the 12 guns make you think this thing is a DPM monster. It is a very, very good ship. Do not get me wrong, but it has basically it is very similar in playstyle and everything to Rochester, right? You don't have the AA that Rochester has, and if you give up your broadside, you're dead quicker than Rochester. But that being said, I like it as much as Rochester. It's a very fun ship. When I first got it, right, I didn't care for it very much because I was an idiot when broadside depth struck, right? This is a Buffalo, and sometimes to get your back turrets on a target, you give up a little bit more than you should. And I would keep that in mind when you're playing it. Don't have to get all your turrets on target. That being said, however, this does have torpedoes, and they're solid torpedoes. They're slow, but that's okay. That doesn't bother me on cruisers too much. They hit hard for 533 millimeter torps. They hit for almost 20,000, and they have a decent range of 10 and a half kilometers. So that is handy. Now AA, it's not really not a whole lot there, especially for American ship, American cruiser in particular. I think I have gotten a clear sky in it recently, but I think I got murdered doing it. Like, it's not that good at AA. I would be lucky. I think I got lucky when I got my AA. It probably was a Kaga or something. Maneuverability. Turning circle, because it has 12 turrets, it's a longer ship. Turning circle is not going to be good. The maximum speed is there, and the rudder is actually pretty decent for, I would say average to decent for how big this ship is and not building into the rudder. Detectability, because it is a longer ship, is 11 kilometers. Stats in this thing, like I said, when I first got it, I was pretty bad with this thing. Now, recently, much better. And I don't have a problem saying that, right? Like, I used to give up my back turrets way too much with this thing and just get mauled when I wasn't in my smoke. So, that was me, not the ship, okay? Armor, like I said, it's basically a buffalo, right? Uh, which means if you're overmatched by 16-inch guns or bigger, right? Anywhere on your ship, right? So if you take this off, that is your citadel. You don't have an actual you don't have much protection, right? So if you're getting shot at by over 16-inch guns, you are basically a floating citadel to most things. Now, you can angle, right? A little bit, but that isn't an armor belt. That's your citadel, okay? So you can angle to some of the things that are below that, but you got to be careful, right? It can take a beating if it's under 16-inch guns. If it's over 16-inch guns, it's going to be rough for you. As we start the match, it's disclaimer time. This is a beginner's video meant to help people new to the ship or new to the game. This is not meant for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything in the universe. There are multiple ways to play and build this ship, and I am an above average player, not the world's best. I make mistakes. You may see one in this match. You didn't come here for pronunciations. I'm as good as anybody at slaughtering beautiful languages all the time. With that out of the way, we are on Greece. And like I said, I do like this ship quite a bit now. I didn't care for it at first, but as I got better as a player, this is a fun ship. I really have started to come into my own with American cruisers recently, and do really like them. That being said, do not sleep on the HE on this ship. And like I said, it's not necessarily a DPM monster. But man, you give the opportunity to this ship and it will hit like a truck, okay? So just let you know, when you get that opportunity, you will be able to dev strike people with this thing if they make a mistake here. So you can see, I think we spawned with a chappie over here. There's an Anchorage. We're going to take a shot, smoke up, throw some torpedoes out in case somebody decides to charge us. And we get a couple shells on the Anchorage that turns in. And now we're going to start to unload on Bismarck. And you're going to see, while this is not a DPM monster, it does fine. Like when you get broadsides, as you can see there, we got a solid chunk off of Bismarck. I think it was around 10,000. You're gonna do solid chunks on broadside targets. Even as you can see, we get 6 overpins on Bismarck. But you're gonna get good chunks, especially shooting into superstructures or right above the armor belts of ship. Pretty much like most American cruisers, heavy cruisers. That's what your outcome's gonna be. You see, we're gonna chill here in this, and we switch over to HE. The Albing shows himself, and this poor Albing has no idea what's coming because this is a very accurate ship. As we get 8 shells on target instead of fire. Do not sleep on this HE. It is not bad. Right? We're gonna take another shot at Albing, and we're gonna hit him with another 8 shells and another fire. pretty consistent. And that is what this ship is. It is very consistent. But as you can see, Albing goes down, and we had a big part of murdering him, which is like my favorite thing to do in any ship, is murder a destroyer. So check on that goal. Alright, so we throw a shell or a set of HE at Bismarck. Honestly, really just getting it out to reload some AP. Again, you can always use the HE or AP in this thing if you want. If you only did HE, it would be fine. If you only did AP, it'd probably be fine. I always prefer to mix it up, as we're going to go ahead, take a shot at Anchorage. This Anchorage is going to be a solid player, actually. He's going to turn out, and we are not going to be able to kill him. So good move on him. I didn't think he knew I was there still. But this guy is actually going to be a decent player and kite away. And we're not going to really worry about trying to kite him. We're actually trying to get into a better position to get them battleships that are behind him. I'm not going to chase a kite halfway across the map. I just need to get into a better position. And as you can see, there is Bazarski. And that is a little bit of a concern, because we're going to make sure that we get angled to him or sit in our smoke. Like Bazarski, if you're not in a good position, as you can see, we get a Citadel. They can melt you very quick with their AP, right? So we're going to try to do that to him as we get another Citadel on him and hit 9 shells. So clearly doing a number on him as well. And taking the shot. So we did get rid of their Albing. We've taken a chunk out of Anchorage. And now Bazarski, and got a defend on the B-cap base. Now, we are going to be over here and trying to hold down the fort. One issue we have is we have a Chappie that, while he's not playing bad, he is going to just sit right next to me the entire game no matter what I do. Which is fine. It happens. And to be fair, he doesn't play bad, but it's going to make spotting not perfect. And that's one thing with smoke ships, right? If you are a division player, these things are absolutely a blast. If you're not, they can be a lot of fun, and I love them. But sometimes, like, for example, I'm just going to come out and try to spot for myself, because not a whole lot going on here, right? Otherwise. So we're going to start taking shots at Bismarck. Obviously, we get spotted. Bazarski is going to go ahead and get pop into his smoke. And we're just going to try to push up. We're winning this flank, and we're pushing people away. And we've gotten the capture. And you can see there is Anchorage there. We're going to get ready to try to take him out. Obviously, his smoke is going to wear out here in a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and try to slap him as good as we can here. And he's still alive. He stayed alive for a while in this thing. So we're going to shoot another set of AP. Just in case he decides to turn in. Again, probably should have shot HE here. But I'm stubborn, and I didn't want to switch, as I'm keeping an eye on Bismarck, right? I'm broadside to Bismarck. If Bismarck decides to shoot at me, it could hurt, kind of. It's a Bismarck. Like, the main guns really aren't going to do that a whole lot. As we can see, if Anchorage is still getting away here, we're going to take a shot with HE and just be done with him, all right? You've been around long enough, but as you can see here, close match actually at this point. In fact, we're doing better. We've gotten their destroyer gone, and we have cap control, right? We, in fact, helped get rid of their destroyer, and we helped actually get the cap. So we're going to switch over to HE on this Grossa right here. Only to go ahead and try to start some fires on him and pop a smoke. And we're going to actually just go ahead and go for the light up. And this was mostly because I wanted to show off the HE a little bit more on a bigger target. than actually needing to use HE. I'm just showing the versatility of it here. Honestly, it's a German battleship. We could have chunked him for so much in the superstructure, right? And you can see I hit a little bit too far back and I shatter on the deck on that shot. But right here, you're going to start to see a little bit different result as we get 9 to hit and a fire, right? Now we get one permafire going. We're switching over to AP again because we're guessing we might get a fire on the next one. And we don't, but we do get 7 pins. As you can see, we do have a permafire going on him. Actually, there is 2 on him. And we're going to go ahead and move up and work on this Bismarck wall. DeGrosso is on fire. The thing is, though, is I got to be careful with DeGrosso charging. I need to get rid of him quick enough where if my smoke runs out, as you can see, he's not looking at me right now. If my smoke runs out, he's not going to be able to just destroy me real quick. But one thing you've noticed is in the last little bit, our entire team has essentially died. All right. And again, Chappie is just sitting in my smoke, which I'm not blaming him, but we're going to have to go out and start doing some spotting. And this is looking pretty bad for us right now. And we need to get a fire on DeGrosso here to try to get rid of him. And you can see we're going to take a shot out at the out at our end of our range there to try to get him. And like I said, the HE is decent on this thing. I think American cruisers, people get too hyper-focused on either using only HE or AP, and they're both good. Like, there's times where I definitely use HE, as you can see here. We did get a fire on... as we're going to get ready here. Oh, this is actually the shot where he's more at range. And we're going to take a shot here. We're going to get a fire on Bismarck. And now at about the end of our range, we're going to take a shot on DeGrosso. And you can see we get fires relatively consistently with this ship. Now, fires are random. But when you get fires, it's super beneficial. Now, DeGrosso is on a permanent fire. He should be dead. But obviously, we're not going to get that lucky as we do take out Bismarck, however. And... you can see now it's just down to the last 2 ships against 5. This is not good outcomes. Because now they're taking the B cap. It's not like I can just run away and get, and hold the points. That's not what's going to happen. We're not going to have enough points. There's still 4 minutes left. So I'm actually going to have to try to fight this out. Our chappie decides now is the right time to be absolutely crazy. And this Plymouth here, who has a whale of a game himself. So kudos to you if you're watching. He's going to get in a fight with the Plymouth, and Plymouth is going to finish him off. Plymouth actually has a solid game in here as well, as we get our high caliber hitting Massachusetts. So we won our side and we've defended it, right? We've done a good job here, and we're trying to get in a position. I know DeGrosso's low health, so there kind of is a shot to win it, but not really, so I'm not too worried as we get our Confederate as well here. And in my daily dumb Dave moment, I go ahead and run into an island. It wouldn't be a Soopa-Dave video without some sort of moronic move in the middle of it, actually. But again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and turn out and just, you know what, we're going to still, there's enough time to maybe do something, but not really. We're going to throw torpedoes out. You see this ship doesn't have the worst firing angles on the torpedoes, but I'm actually hoping to turn out and to get turned back in here. And right in the middle of it here, as you're going to see, I get spotted. And there we go. And Plymouth comes back out. I was actually going to go ahead and try to get into a little bit better position, and I'm just going to get mauled by everybody on the map here. And there's not much you can do. You can't angle the, you know, every ship on the entire map. So, but you can see we're going to go down here. Wichita does end up taking us down, but you can see we held our side. We did pretty well, and we were top leaderboard, trying to help our team win. With that would have been basically a 3,300 base game and a win. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you folks next time.